Curious, the cast and the curious. Welcome back. Boom. We in this bitch.
Oh my God.
It is mere hours, 90 minutes maybe, away from Bridgett and me, Sarah, from seeing F9.
Let's get it.
Let's get straight into it. No introduction. You know who we are. We know what we're about. You know what the show is.
I hope so.
You've been following along for 8 of the saga films and 1 spinoff.
I hope so. If not, go back.
If not, get the hell
Get out.
Get out.
Get out of here.
You had a whole pandemic to do nothing but listen to this show.
Yeah.
If you have not been listening up until now, I don't know what to tell you.
Don't start here, obviously.
Don't start here. There's spoilers. We're going to be talking spoilers.
I mean, not right now, because we have not yet seen the movie.
Spoilers for the first 8 plus Shobbs and Haw. We have not seen F9 yet. We're recording this before we've seen F9.
Yes. We're going to see the movie in about an hour, a little over an hour.
Yes.
It's been a long wait.
For you, not for me, though.
Not for you, but
it's kind of just been like a few months.
I mean, but we did launch this podcast with the idea that we would catch up.
Yeah.
And not have this awkward hiatus. But here we are. Now we're in it. We're ready to go.
I am feeling truly blessed and privileged as a new Fast and Furious fan. Because like I said, like, if I were a fan last year and the movie was delayed a full year, I would understand, of course.
Yeah.
But I'd be bummed. I would be like, I was actually thinking, hey, good, bad, and ugly. It's a good thing The Rise of Skywalker came out December 2019. Yeah. Because if that was like December 2020, shit, we'd never see that movie.
No, that movie would.
Because they would remake.
Well, it would be on Disney Plus for $50.
Oh my God. No, they would not. They would have done Black Widow and they would have saved that. No way.
It would be like $100.
Maybe they release it on time, but like premium access, like $500. Yeah. And if you tell anybody anything that happens in the movie, we will kill you.
Right. You watch with a
sniper.
Yeah.
You sign like a waiver that's like, I know that I'm under surveillance.
And there's just a red dot following you around until the movie comes out. But that's not this. This is
the other 9th movie.
We waited. Dom and the boys waited for us.
Dom and the gang and the fam.
And the fam. And we're finally ready to step foot in theaters and kick this into high gear. Sarah.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be hooting and hollering.
And it's your first Fast in theaters.
I know. I was thinking we both have to pay attention closely because like, we're blind. We're going into this like, we don't know what's going to happen at all.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't ask you later like, wait, what was that? Because you won't know either.
No. No, I have no future insight. You are as caught up as I am. I might have watched the movies 1 or 2 more times than you, let's say.
I did consider rewatching a few of them, but I was like, I don't know which ones or which one to watch. And I also did just kind of sort of see them recently.
It's hard.
They're pretty fresh.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what is canonically important in these movies.
Girl, I don't know.
So I don't know what to tell you. Like, obviously 3 ends up being kind of important.
Yes.
And 4 does kind of, but then they like with the Letty storyline of her.
Well, that's what gets Brian into like he was in the feds.
Well, yeah,
always.
and 4 and 5 is when they hook up with the FBI.
Yes, that's when it becomes like a more international.
Yeah, that's when they become secret agents, and then I guess 8 is going to return back to us in this movie because we got Charlize in another bad. And
I will say, I came down pretty hard on Fate.
Yeah,
that blow has been softened. You have to remember, I recorded that. That was my very first reaction. Like I'd literally just seen it, so
we came in hard.
Wasn't favorable. I still don't like it.
Still not a fan.
But it's not a devastating blow. Like
No.
Maybe it sounded like it was in the moment. I'm excited to see Charlize again, truly.
Yeah.
Redemption.
Yes. She's getting a second shot at these.
Already the hair looks so much better.
Does it? I mean,
it's not locks.
It's not locks.
We'll start there. It's not twists.
So it's not appropriative, but it's still bad. Maybe of like 12-year-old boys it is.
Sure. I mean, look, we'll see. Okay, so this is what we want to talk about. Some predictions for the film.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear yours because I've always been bad at predicting things.
I don't know if you've heard this show, but I am also bad at predicting what's going to happen next.
Especially with these movies, it's not you can't predict them.
Right. I don't have much in the way of predictions. There is one that I think is going to happen, but I think it's a gimme. I bet the babies are going to be used as bait again.
The babies.
We got Brian and Mia's kid.
Yeah.
We now have Dom and Letty's kid.
Baby's going to get kidnapped.
I feel like kidnapping is going to be involved. And then the other thing that I feel really confidently, and I want to get this on the record. Eva Longoria is going to be in this movie. No, Eva Mendes is going to be in this movie. Eva Mendes is going to be in this movie. They have the same first name. I'm sorry I got that confused. Eva Mendes
confused.
Going to be in this movie. Maybe Eva Longoria too. Technically right now, two very valid predictions.
Sure.
Eva Mendes, we saw the tease at the end of like, what was that, 6?
Yeah.
She was talking to
just in the
Hobbs.
tag.
Yeah. So where is she?
I mean,
this movie right here.
Good question. I would love to see the return of her character.
I want to see her speak lines. Yeah, I want to see her do something and have a plot.
That's a bold prediction.
And yet, don't you think it makes so much sense? Literally, they already teased her.
It does. If I was a betting woman, I'd bet against you, but
all right.
Not.
Let me tell you something. Expect the unexpected with these films. All right. I don't know if you've seen it before, but they're kind of kooky.
They're kind of wild. Yeah. I don't think I have any like big predictions. I try not to expect too much going in because I already know. One, it's going to exceed my expectations, probably.
Of course.
And two, like, it's just, I can't imagine what they're going to come up with. But I'm very excited for these magnet trucks.
Oh my God, dude. I'm excited for Letty and Dom to swing on a vine, it looks like in the trailer.
Ugh, they're becoming full.
They're going to go into space.
In 10.
No. This is the trailer where I think Roman is like, are we in outer space? I'm not even joking. There's a scene in the trailer where they talk about space.
I thought that was 10. This is the space one?
I'm pretty sure this is the space one.
Oh my God, Sarah, we gotta leave right now.
I know. I would love for them to go up into space and then hit the Millennium Falcon.
Oh my God.
Start this motherfucker up. Did you see though that
Chewie can drive? I mean.
Oh, fly casual, of course. Yeah. There is that thing right now where they said that like Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious might cross over, which like honestly with the current Jurassic World canon, which unfortunately I know because unfortunately I've seen those movies and I remember them, could happen.
That is a thing I'm not.
T-Rex versus Vin Diesel, who wins fist to fist?
Vin, my boy Vin.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single time.
Because he wouldn't have to use his muscles, he'd use his charm.
And also, you know, T-Rex, they don't have their fan behind them.
No. Small brains.
Also, they can't drive a car. Look at their tiny, stupid arms.
No.
They can't drive. Yeah, that was the one thing I ever heard of Fast, like from the Fast universe, that I was like, I don't know if I.
But isn't everyone going to space
this
now? Because Mission Impossible, they want to go to space.
Space, I'm stoked about. Jurassic universe.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. But space is dope.
I'm not even going to say this. I was going to threaten that, like, if the world really does start to, like, end, which, like, we're kind of already on the trajectory. Yeah. Maybe, like, my last week on Earth, I would like to see that movie.
Sure. Yeah. That's how
I don't want to live with that movie. Let's say that.
It would be cool to, as a meteor hits.
Yeah, honestly, I think that'd be a beautiful way to go.
Be,
dinosaur.
Yeah.
The Fast and the Furious :
I was trying to think of it.
We got dinosaurs.
The Dino and the Furious. I don't know what they'll call that one.
Or what if it was Jurassic World, the Fast and the Furious?
Comma.
Or a colon.
Or a colon.
But maybe a comma, because that is technically
Jurassic.
Oh, here's it. Jurassic World, the Fast and the Furious, one hell of a ride.
Colon, yeah, Back to the Future.
2.
Electric
colon, semicolon.
2, even though it's the 13th movie.
Who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen? And with that,
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to have a fucking blast.
I'm going to have a blast.
I hope I like this movie. Christ, what if this is bad?
We'll find out. And
Han, how do you think Han's back alive? Because I was thinking about this today.
I have no clue.
I'm expecting some stupid bullshit. Let's be clear. I'm expecting the absolute least plausible.
Yeah, like he tuck and rolled.
I'm thinking like I had a mannequin and I was driving that car from a controller.
Yeah.
Because I knew Shaw was going to blow my shit.
Yeah, so he pulled
to
like
hell.
a bat.
Wait, Han and Shaw are going to interact in this film.
Hobbs and Shaw?
Han
and Shaw.
And Shaw.
Yes. But Deckard Shaw was the one who killed him, not...
Luke Evans Shaw,
Yeah.
not Jason Statham Shaw.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless, though.
But still, I mean, this is a movie like John Cena's Vin Diesel's brother.
Luke Evans might be back in it since
Yeah.
apparently he also survived. Justice for Giselle and Elena. This is such horse shit. All the men come back alive or they survive miraculously or whatever. And all of a sudden, Elena and Giselle are just like dead as fucking doornails. It's kind of bullshit, actually.
There's a bunch of horse shit.
Hashtag Justice for Elena, hashtag Justice for Giselle.
Yep. Agreed. I mean, with that, I think...
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go catch a movie. And we'll be back with y'all when we see this damn thing.
All right, Dom. What's next?
No matter how fast you are,
I am not to be compared to you.
no one outruns their past.
I am more easy, you trying your best to become me.
And mine just caught up to me.
So welcome back. Well, to the listeners, there's been no time in between. For some context.
Yeah, are you gonna do the whole
I'm doing
thing?
a little bit of a timeline here of events.
For us, our timeline.
Yes, for us.
Okay.
So Thursday we recorded what you just heard, which was our predictions for the film. This is Saturday morning. We were going to record after the film, but as some of you may have seen on Twitter, our movie actually got interrupted by someone accidentally tripping the fire alarm.
And here, I want to say something about this.
Okay.
And it's to your credit, because I was a sheep in that moment and was like, well, is anybody going to get up? And you just looked at me and you're like, we're going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I knew the exit we were going to
You weren't dicking around. I was just waiting to see if like someone said something, and I was just sitting there like, well, I'm not going to make the first
No,
move. And you were like out of there.
Unfortunately...
And I'm proud of you because of that.
Thank you.
I'm proud
because
of you.
the country we live in, if I hear an alarm, it's like, I'm just going to leave the building and then...
No, that's great. And
either
I wish
I'm going to look stupid or I'm going to look alive. But in any case...
I wish I took more action in that moment, and I really respected you.
Thank you. I will say, again, fortunately, I've spent a lot of time in that theater because I love that theater.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have also spent time thinking... well, if something happens, where would I go?
For sure. Yeah.
So
no, you did the right thing. You
Thank
did
you.
100% the right thing.
Thank you. So I'm a hero. But
Yeah.
as such, the movie had to stop. We had to get back to where we were in the movie, which was a little, trial and error.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah, it was like when you watch a movie in a class and you have to stop it halfway through and then you get back to that class.
Yeah, except
and
you're re-rolling IMAX reel.
Which we've discovered. We don't know how that works.
No idea.
But it's clearly not the same.
It's got to be a son of a bitch. And that was also the first screening opening night.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
Yeah.
Everyone handled it very well, though. It was fine.
Everyone had a good, yeah.
It was not that big of a deal, but it just made our runtime on the movie like 3 hours.
Yeah, so it was like 11:30
Yeah.
by the time we got back here, and I was like, I don't want to be screaming
I
about
was
this
fucking
movie.
exhausted.
I was so tired, and I was like, I can't.
So tired.
As much as spoiler alert, I enjoyed the movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I couldn't scream about it at
yes.
At that time.
No. So we've slept on it. We've had some time. I've even read the IMDb trivia page.
Oh,
I simmered in it.
Whoa,
a bit.
you
There's
did
really not much
research,
to
and
say.
I.
There's really not much to say.
Yeah.
But now we're back, and we're here to tell you, fucking awesome,
Fantastic.
fucking amazing movie.
Oh my god.
So good, the best one.
Us driving home from that movie, knowing we don't want to talk about it,
God,
was
the worst. We couldn't talk about anything because all I want to do is talk about the movie. But it's like, no.
I was so hyped.
I've been dying to talk about this movie.
I was so hyped after the movie, and Sarah and I were just in the car being like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we couldn't talk about it because this is for you.
For you.
We made this sacrifice.
Yes.
Here we are. This is our
oh my
brunch.
God.
We're going to talk.
You guys.
9.
Oh.
First of all, this is your final warning, bitch. If you have not seen this movie,
Get out.
Stop.
Get
Just
out.
Stop. Because
Run, don't walk.
we're talking
go.
spoilers. You already know what the fuck it is.
It's everything you wanted.
It's so,
And more.
Right out of the gate, because I talked about this in my predictions. Literally every issue I had with Fate instantly healed by F9, and they even had moments in F9 that felt like they were taught, like, this is for you, Sarah, so you can feel better about fame.
Yes. I will say it is not without, I've been thinking, it's not without like some issues I have with it.
There's one thing that did not work for me, full stop.
Oh, really?
But literally everything. I
have like two or three things that I'm like, but besides but besides that,
everything else worked for me.
It was, I was distracted by
can I tell
everything
you,
else.
There was a couple times in the movie where I got a little choked up.
Yeah.
Like I legitimately was like,
So yeah, let's do it. I think this is going to be the hardest answer for you.
This is going to be the longest episode too.
It's going to be, I mean, the movie
we're both piecing the plot together.
The movie is 2 hours and 25 minutes, and plot-wise, like most.
Unless you saw it in the Bridgett and Sarah way.
Which is 3 hours. Yeah.
With a brief
intermission.
Beginning of Act 2 intermission.
Yeah. This is going to be the hardest, I think, for you to answer. Take us through this movie. What happens?
Yes. Okay, so right out of the gate, we start with the flashback sequence.
Love it.
This whole sequence I love.
Incredible. Know what it reminded me of?
What?
I never saw the full movie, but I saw the trailer of Cars 3. You know what I'm talking about?
No, why on God's green earth would that be a reference?
Because
I was still expecting you to say Ford versus Ferrari or like
no,
Ricky Bobby.
Go and watch the Cars 3 trailer. Everyone stop right now. Watch the Cars 3 trailer.
Okay, and I have no memory. I mean, I think I remember I remember the Cars 3 trailer.
It's very dramatic. It's very dramatic. It opens on a race, like crashes, and it's very like,
I do remember there was like a gravitas.
And it's very like serious and dramatic and dark.
We could talk about it on our other show.
we could. But yeah, so
okay,
sorry.
You're right. It was exactly like the Cars 3
it's exactly
trailer.
Yes.
We see Dom and Mia's father, but surprise, there's another Toretto sibling in the mix. A young Jacob with a K.
We don't really Jacob with a K?
It's Jacob with a K.
That's incredible. We don't notice that's a Toretto sibling though, do we?
We know because know that that's going to be the plot of the film based on the trailer. Right, that one of them. It's not revealed in the flashback exactly who that is. But when young Dom shows up on screen, you know that's young Dominic Toretto.
For sure.
That actor is... I'm going to look up his name, actually. I want to give him proper credit.
Yeah. It's young Dom. We see, a guy pull up in a race car at the Glendale racetrack.
They are in the Glendale
racetrack. I clocked that.
Yeah,
and his helmet says Toretto, and it's Pops Toretto. And
that was Finn Cole as the young John Cena, young Jacob.
Am I supposed to know who Finn Cole is?
You know what? I said that out loud, and I don't think I know who that is, actually. It's just a name I've heard a lot. Vinnie Bennett is young Dom.
Incredible.
His name is Vinny.
Vin
and Vinny.
That's
makes so much sense.
That's how he got cast.
He's brilliant.
He's really good. I love the Fast Babies.
Love the Fast Babies.
I said this mid-movie to Sarah that I want a Fast Baby spinoff.
I would watch prequels. I would watch a young Dom series for sure. So we see Dom is like helping his dad out with like details on the track.
He's like head of pit crew.
And then we see, and we don't realize this yet, but we know young Jacob, Dom's brother, is under the hood. Yeah. They, tap the car, time to race out of here. Boom.
Yeah, and they're saying there's this guy on the track who is being a bit of a
like
dick.
An antagonist that's like trying to get him. I think he does kind of like bump his tail a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, it ends with Dom's dad dying in a fiery crash in a very brutal way.
Yeah. Oh, that crash is insane.
It was really harsh.
Yeah.
The thing about the Fast and the Furious is that in the very few times where people die and stay dead, they kill the fuck out of these people.
Yeah. My jaw was on the floor.
That was brutal.
It was a big fiery crash.
Yeah, they did not spare a second of screen time.
It wasn't like we thought the Han crash was a fiery wreck, but
this was
there was no remains.
Yeah, this was really bad.
Yeah, there was nothing left of the car.
Yeah. It basically blew up and then disintegrated.
Yeah. It was insane. And then, Dom runs on the track,
Devastated.
Like he's running through traffic, I guess. I don't know what it's called.
Well, I think they stop the race when someone dies in a fiery blast like that.
I would hope so.
Or at least they slow down.
Yeah. I would sincerely hope so, but I'm not. I'm just a Fast fan, not a NASCAR fan.
Yeah,
so.
no. Where do we go where do we start after the flashback though?
Where do we start after that's hard. Oh, then we go to the farm.
The farm. Okay. Why are they on a farm?
They could have gone anywhere, and we've seen them in like they could have been in.
Didn't they like live in a full blown castle in the? Oh, Mia was in a castle in the DR.
Yeah, and they could have gone to the DR where they have family. They could have. I mean, I guess.
I think they have a cousin in Cuba, right?
Yeah, they have cousins in Cuba. Like they could have gone to cool beach places. But
yeah, I do not know why they settled on a farm.
Well,
Mia and Dom, Letty and Dom have settled on a farm with their child.
Well, with
Brian Jr.,
who is named after a still alive uncle.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird. But
yeah, well, there's moments we have to talk about in terms of the fact that Brian is still alive.
Yes, for sure. And I guess maybe they're on the farm to like.
I think they're in hiding.
Like, I think it's like the last place.
But like of all the
would
places. But you know what? It would be the last place anyone would look for the two of them because they would look for like coastal cities.
Yeah. And
surely.
And little Brian, so cute, helping his dad fix like a trailer.
Is that not Vin Diesel's literal child?
Is it?
I thought
you read the facts.
I know. I thought I knew that before. I thought there was like something like. Oh,
I mean, he's a real cutie.
He is cute. Oh no, little Brian is two twins that are not related to Vin Diesel whatsoever.
Okay. Well, either way, in these movies, canon.
Wow, they have a young Letty cast.
Yes, they do. There's a whole Fast Babies.
There is a whole Fast Babies.
Okay, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So they're on the farm, working on tinkering on cars.
Yeah,
a car pulls up. They don't know who it is.
Brian, they are like, Brian, get to hiding, and he has like a practice like
that
hiding hole.
Yes,
which is a little sad. And then they like press a bunch of buttons on this old shed, and then there's a whole like gun closet that comes out, which I love. And they're like, let's go. And we're pointing guns. And then who shows up?
The gang.
Tej,
Roman,
Ramsey.
I was going to say like Emmanuel, but that's not.
No, that's not right. That's not right.
No, Ramsey.
Show up and.
They got a mission.
Of course.
So, okay, this is where this section of the movie is
the minute they start doing plot, this section of the movie.
And here's the thing. Right out of the gate, I was like, I love this. I've said in the past, I love when the Fast movies, but really any movie just starts with one character being like, this is the plot of the film.
Right.
Like, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing this. Like, thank you. Just say it.
They have several moments because it makes no sense where they're trying to make sense of it. And I don't know if it fits, but whatever.
You know what? One of my prime complaints about the prior Fast movies, it's like, I need someone to stop and tell me who these people are and what are they doing. And the fact that this movie does make effort to like say things that are like helping me watch the movie, I appreciate. Right. That said, I can't remember. So Mr. Nobody goes missing.
Yeah, he goes down in like
he has a plane that is overcome. It crashes. They're trying to find Mr. Nobody.
Yeah.
So they're going to the site of the crash for clues?
To, I guess, try to find him?
Yeah, because I guess if his plane went down, it's assumed that maybe he's in the area.
Yeah.
And just kind of like a search and rescue or like search and recovery mission.
Yeah. And Dom's like, we're out of it. Yeah. And Letty's like, I can't stay away. And then she rides off on her motorcycle.
So this is actually the first place that I did get a little choked up.
Yeah.
When Letty gave Brian Jr. like the Toretto family necklace. Oh, that got me a little.
Also, I love that every scene with Brian Jr., like that family.
He's beautiful.
That family, though, is so dramatic. Every time they talk to that kid, it's like a big moment in the family.
Well, yeah, since Dom and Letty can seemingly die, like literally at any given second under any reason or any circumstance.
There's very few. I mean, the opening scene, they're just like, he's just teaching him about cars and what different wrenches are.
Yeah. Literally which is cute, every time after that was always just like, just remember, I will always love you.
Yeah. Well, even when they're just like, you and me. There's a lot of they're pushing religion heavily on this
There was
child.
a pretty Christian
I mean,
needle
he wears
drop
a-
because the little boy asks at one point, "Daddy, where does God live?"
Yeah.
Min's like, "God lives in your heart."
Yeah, it's always a very serious conversation with Brian Jr.
Yeah. And I could picture the Vin being like, this movie's about family, it's about God.
Yeah, I mean, clearly
Like,
they
okay.
are pretty religious.
Oh yeah, they do say grace.
They say grace. He wears that giant cross necklace.
Yes, that you're and the cover accurately representing
yes.
the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes. Which
So-
my parents will not get over. They're very, if MVB, you're listening to this, they're very upset that it's not a Jewish star, but it's fine.
So they have this moment. Letty is like, "This is our life," which, by the way, it kind of mirrors a conversation that Brian and Dom have in Furious 7. Where, like, after Brian has become
Yes.
a father.
Yes.
And Brian and Dom kind of talk about, like, do you ever miss it?
Yeah, there's a lot of mirroring.
Yes.
A lot of mirroring, which
This
I
movie
love.
does a good job of accurately representing emotional beats that we have seen before.
Yes.
Which seemingly any franchise would do, but with this
They
series,
do it really well.
we don't know.
Yeah.
They do it extremely well in
Yes.
this movie. So Dom and Letty kind of a similar conversation. Letty's like, "Look, this isn't who we are." She takes off on her motorcycle. Of course, Dom follows.
Yeah.
Then I don't remember where they meet up with the team.
At the airport?
Except like they're at the crash site, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much like...
They're just like there.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're in this jungle in a location that I don't know
I
what
think they
country
filmed
it
in
is.
Thailand because that's what the credits said.
I know. Yeah, they filmed it in
But
Thailand.
where they are in the world of the movie, and
Yeah.
there, you know what? There was even location cards in this one. Did you notice?
There were location cards in there, but they just said the city. And it was a pretty I don't know. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't
one of
like
those-
Phuket. Like
Yeah,
I
it was
couldn't. It
something
wasn't
that-
Bangkok. I couldn't
True.
tell.
Yeah, but they're basically in like a jungle somewhere,
Yeah,
maybe in
it's
Southern Asia.
Beautiful. They cut to them
Gorgeous.
driving over these beautiful seaside cliffs.
Stunning. It was like the best kind of Indiana Jones movies have this location.
Yeah, it was an absolutely gorgeous location.
So good. The footage, the music. I mean, the music in this
The
movie
music in this
across the
movie
board
is fantastic.
incredible. It's so good.
A couple times it was a little too trap house for me.
There was a sequence,
But I
where-
think that's right. I think it fit very well.
there was a sequence. I've genuinely been enjoying the soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
I listened to it on the way here.
Yeah.
There was like 3 different song drops in a row. At a certain point, that was like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, we got it. So they show up. They're at this crash site.
Yeah. And they're talking about don't let the military here see you.
And you know what? This is where they always get me, dude. Who are they working for? Who are they affiliated with? Who is involved? Is there an embassy somewhere we don't know about? How did they leave the country?
Yeah, I think they're just rogue FBI operatives at this point.
At this point, they're the Avengers at this point. They're like a supercell group.
But I think if they're they've worked with the FBI, they're clearly internationally
and I think the only
known
reason why they even
rock
went
the
on
microphone.
This, yeah, I think the only reason why they even went on this in the first place is because Mr. Nobody is now technically a part of the fam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. Nobody's in the fam.
Yeah.
They gotta find him.
So they have to go.
So clearly he was shot down in this territory. So he's like an enemy of whatever. He's they don't like
obviously
whatever.
somebody-
They don't want the fam there.
Yeah.
And guess what? The military finds them.
Yeah. So, but not before they find this
Sci-fi device.
Yes.
Is what I call it.
A Sith Wayfinder,
Yes.
if you will.
Yes.
Because it's half of a weapon.
Yes, that can tap into anything that runs on code, which has been the plot of these movies.
Every one of them is
since,
they must think binary is some pseudo brilliant shit.
Sure. I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, I can't read binary, don't get me wrong, but I know it's you can learn how to code.
Yes. No.
It's not like some magic. You
No.
can actually just sit down and learn this.
Yeah, but also there's been so many I don't know. The plots of these movies are you can hack into anything that runs on binary, and we're yeah, that's not that
Yeah, pretty
crazy.
much.
we just had that like gas surge. Like that's what happened. Like,
people found Joe Biden's personal Venmo and like that wasn't even a hack. They just like
found
searched
it.
Joe R. Biden and Venmo was like, oh, this is the president's personal.
But whatever. So
I did like Ramsey had a little moment where she's like, it's the most impossible technology in the world, but I can hack it. It's like, yeah fucking right. You better.
Yeah.
That's like the whole reason why you're in this fucking group.
Yeah. You can't, as we learn in a very sweet scene, she can't drive.
Yeah, this is like your one contribution. You fucking better.
I did point this out. What I do love about their mission in Thailand is Ramsey and Tej are in the same car, but they are both wearing surveillances.
Oh, you pointed out that.
And they're both wearing like a walkie earpieces.
Yeah.
No one is on walkie.
No, who are they connected to? Who are they talking to?
They're just wearing surveillances.
Where is that coming from? Military shows up. This is a part of the movie that I want to talk about because
it's so fucking good.
It is awesome. Fuck, it is awesome.
It is one of my it's at least in the top.
It's a top 10.
It's a top
easy
10
top 10
chase scene action sequence.
Everything about this sequence
ever like
rules.
outside of the fast.
So the first thing I want to discuss is Roman.
Yes.
If every ex-convict in America was given the resources and the benefit of the sheer doubt that Roman has received, we literally, all of our problems can be solved.
Yeah.
Because he was literally taking almost bullets.
Yeah.
For, I don't know who exactly, because again, we're not sure exactly what you work for, but it's like, damn, when I first met you, you were on parole so badly that you had to get a federal agent to like bail you out of your fucking...
Yeah, and I think he just like stole cars with Brian when he was a teen.
Exactly.
Which is like...
And now Roman is like Rambo. Full running through the jungle, fully being shot at by multiple super agents. He, at one point, is surrounded by like 20 super agents and takes all of them down. Yeah,
it's insane. He has an insane sequence.
And then he's got the sequence with the truck.
Yeah, he's still an identity character, so he's still like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
but he isn't the biggest tank out of anybody.
Roman, as always, in my opinion, the voice of reason in all of these movies. Because he is saying what I am thinking constantly.
Yes, which is another scene we have to get to. But
oh my God.
There's so much of this movie.
There's so much to discuss. So at one point, his car gets flipped forward. He's stuck in between.
Well, they race. So they're racing, and they're like,
of course.
And then they're like, "What does peligraminas mean?" And they're like, "Danger, mine." So they're driving through a minefield.
Oh wow, you even remembered. That's right, they do.
Things are. Oh, that's a big part of this. So
that's right.
After Roman,
I did pump my fist in the air when I saw they were driving through a minefield. Like fuck yes, let's go, baby.
So there
lots of explosions.
Lots of explosions. No one's getting harmed, except for the bad guys getting harmed in them.
Did you ever go to like Universal Studios or like Hollywood MGM, and they have like those like backlot tours, whatever, and they rig up some like, look at these, like watching that.
The Jaws ride?
The Jaws ride. I was thinking like the Stunt Spectacular they used to have at Hollywood MGM. They're literally that sequence where they were driving through the mines. I was like, this is movies. Like this is an action movie, period.
It's incredible.
So raw and uncut.
Yeah.
Explosions, cars, helicopters, machine guns.
Yeah. Also, I do want to point out, so they're all like doing this wild chase through the mine scene. There are 4 vehicles for the family. It's Roman in a tank.
Right.
Yeah. Tej and Ramsey in like a Jeep. Dom in his Charger. And Letty on a damn motorcycle.
Which means they flew the Charger and the motorcycle special for this mission. But that wasn't just a car that they got in.
No. Letty drove
we'll bring the Camry across the ocean to where we need to be.
Letty drove her motorcycle from the farm to Thailand.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she has no protection. Like, at least have a vehicle. So I know
she's not even wearing a Kevlar vest.
Yeah, nothing. But she makes it out of there, and they are driving, and it is this spectacular chase scene.
Awesome.
And then we see John Cena.
That's right. We get the John Cena tease, and I did in my brain when we saw him on screen think, and his name is John Cena.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
So
this motherfucking dude is in this movie. And
so he's watching like everything happen over the cliff. He's overseeing.
He's
like
classic like bad guy. I'm about to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, no, he has a full like Batman perch reveal, and then he gets into the same. He gets into Charger or is a Charger or Challenger.
Honestly, what the fuck do I know? Some American-made car that's been.
I'm
souped
so sorry.
up.
He also gets into one, and he is, and we don't really know who he is at this point, mind you. We know because of the trailers, which they shouldn't have said that in the trailer.
Wow, truly, because
because that would have just been like John Cena. It would have been a crazy reveal, but
if I was watching this movie on TV after the movie had been released, because like I didn't watch trailers, that would have been a big moment.
That would have been a huge moment. It would have been like when you found out Brian was a cop.
Oh my god, the betrayal.
Yeah, so we see him, and then he's driving just like part of the fam. Yeah, and he's trying to take down
he is the fam.
And they're like, we need to get out. And Ramsey's like looking, and she's like, there seems to be a bridge somewhere. And it turns out it's just this tiny,
rickety.
It's a suspension bridge. It's a suspension bridge. And
which if they had seen any movie prior to this one, they would know that's not going to last.
Yeah. So somehow, Roman, Tej, and Ramsey get over this suspension bridge.
But as they're driving,
the bridge
it's
breaking.
Is collapsing below them. So at the end of the sequence, they are driving up a bridge.
Yes, they are driving.
They are driving against gravity.
Yeah. So
which will not be the first time that they. It's not the only time they do it in the movie.
No, bridge sequences are.
And gravity is merely an idea.
It's a mere suggestion.
Yeah.
But let's start with the Ramsey Tej. Roman thing. So they get over this bridge and they're like, we made it, and we're still like, there's still some mines around. And Roman then somehow drives his car between these two boulders, and in the middle of the boulders, it's clear that there's a mine.
There's a mine there,
and the car is folding down.
Yes.
Like it's and he's in it, and everyone's like, oh, he gonna die.
By the way, sincerely, I thought that was a very Mission Impossible set piece. They love to do shit like that.
Yeah, it was great. And you see the car slowly going down.
Yeah.
And it's like, you see like dirt landing on the mine. And you're like, well, how sensitive is this thing? Roman kicks out the windshield, tucks and rolls out through the windshield.
Somehow jumps down, not on top of the mine.
Or
jumping
the car.
Down on the ground doesn't disturb the landmine.
The car then cascades down. Like, doesn't get smushed by the car falling.
No.
Either. And the car detonates the mine. But he is still...
That mine and car explode, I think 3 feet away from where Roman is.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. And like...
Not even a singe.
There is a moment where like you don't see him and there's an explosion in the rubble and like we're like,
oh yeah, because he runs and then the car explodes and flies through the air and seemingly lands on top of
Roman.
him.
And somehow...
Which my jaw dropped.
Yeah, you thought Roman was dead.
I literally thought like, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't just how they kill Roman.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether or not I should laugh yet.
Yeah. And so there's like a real tense moment in the theater, and then Roman pops up and he's fine, and it's great. Then we cut back to Letty and Dom.
Yes.
And
thank God you remember this very well. Because honestly, this was before the movie got stopped, and
yeah.
I kind of memory lost some things during that time.
Yeah. I mean, I might be, a little fuzzy on the details and the timing of this.
No, so far I feel like you're giving a full play-by-play.
Thank you. So Letty and Dom are racing with John Cena through the jungle. It's this crazy chase, and they're like, this bridge isn't a bridge, because now at this point the suspension bridge is collapsed.
Gone. Yeah.
And we're having another moment like in Fast 6 where you're like, the only option is suicide?
Yeah.
Seemingly?
Yeah.
But so John Cena is like playing chicken. They're going on this cliff. It's a real rebel without a cause moment.
Yeah.
And John Cena goes off the cliff, and out of nowhere, and it's also the editing at this point is a little confusing because they're driving the same car and you don't quite know.
Editing fake outs in this movie where it's like, oh, are you sure you saw what you just saw? Because it looked like Dom and Letty had gone off.
Yeah. I don't think they meant that, but it was
maybe not. Yeah, but it is cars that like are identical.
Yeah. But so this car jumps off the cliff and it seems to be plummeting, but then a drone, some sort of huge plane comes through, grabs the car through magnets, and flies off with the
Very
car.
fucking
so
cool.
he's fine.
Very fucking cool.
And then Dom and Letty were like, well, we need to get out of here. There's still military black ops from wherever shooting at us.
Yeah.
And they just
Jump.
They just do it.
How does the rope from the bridge wrap around the car?
Yeah, they full like
so
Tarzan
they could
and
swing
Jane
on that vine.
on a car. They're Tarzan and Jane on a vine.
Yeah.
But with a car.
I just didn't see. I literally just like Vin held on.
No, it
and
doesn't,
like just held the car together.
Somehow, yeah, the rope from the broken suspension bridge swings them across to the other end.
So fucking awesome.
And they are fine. And then also at one point during the chase, this happens twice, and it makes me laugh every time they do this. It's not the first time they do this, but like Letty falls. And Dom catches her with the hood of her car.
Oh, yes. Because I said, yeah, really, really cushy landing.
Yeah, Dom saves Letty a couple times, or like a couple people land safely by just landing from deadly falls on the hood of the car.
This is when she jumps through the car from the window, and they have like a face-to-face with Jacob for a second. There.
Yeah.
And that's when we know,
they know each other. Yeah, there's a look, and they're like...
Well, I think Letty even says, like, it's Jacob.
Yeah.
By the way, Michelle Rodriguez is doing some great passenger seat acting in all of the sequence because you can tell she's putting her foot down on an invisible brake that isn't there.
Yeah.
Like she's like clutching at certain points.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's exactly how I would be if that was me.
She's
in the car.
so great. And there's this moment where she, from her motorcycle, has to get in Dom's car. And it is like the hottest way you can get into a car.
Yeah.
She swings, like she's on the roof. She swings one leg.
That's how NASCAR drivers do it.
Yeah, it's
just
get
out of the car.
But
like that.
it's. I mean, it's her stunt double. I'm assuming.
No, I think that was Michelle.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
The stunt credits at the end of the movie were
extensive.
Yeah, 2 fucking minutes long. It was a lot of people.
I mean, yeah, they did great work. But anyway, they get back to Mr. Nobody's secret lair.
Yes.
That he's been working.
This is where it gets a little hard because this is kind of coming up to where we got cut off the first time,
right? Because
they go to the secret lair, they uncover the secret lair at all,
right? And then
I think Ramsey gets into like, this is what this weapon does,
right? They do a little bit of the exposition, and then Dom has the moment that happens in every movie where he's like, "This is on me. I got to do it alone."
Yes.
And then Roman says, we're family, or something to that effect. So like, we're all in this together. And so they decide to work together. And then we get this moment where we have Tej and Ramsey.
Well, I think before that, we see Charlize for the first time.
Oh, yeah. So it cuts to...
Jacob goes... They're in like some like nondescript like military
hangar. Yeah.
And Jacob approaches...
Elon Musk?
Fucking... Charlize. Oh yeah, that fucking guy.
But he's working with some like rich tech
twat,
tech billionaire with a weird accent. It's Elon Musk.
It is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And they're working together. It seems like Jacob is working for them.
Yes.
And Elon Musk and Charlize Theron are working together.
Yes. So they're like. So they get Charlize.
I just want to talk about how ridiculous Charlize Theron is.
It's so great. She is in like the box that Loki is in the Avengers movie.
I called it the Magneto box.
The Magneto box. Yeah, she is in like.
She is as dangerous as Hannibal Lecter, Loki, and Magneto.
But they give her fresh clothes
and eyeliner.
Yeah,
and a haircut. Thank fuck.
Yeah, they cut off her twists.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But notice how, unlike the other characters we just named, she's literally in I think that box is like 7x6. It's more like a rectangle.
Yeah.
There's no furniture in it. It's literally just like it looks like one of those boxes that you use to transport a hamster from your house to the vet.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a little water bottle.
Dangerous.
Yeah, she has
to be completely deprived of anything in this box. And again, I have to ask, who the fuck is she and why the fuck is she so dangerous?
I mean, she's like next to Ramsey, the best hacker in the world.
So we need to put her in a box because she's so smart she can manipulate anybody to do anything?
Yeah. She's like Ed Harris in Speed.
Christ. It's not that it works for these movies for me because it's like, look, I don't need a big explanation as to who the antagonist is, etc. Like, it's fine. I'll just accept it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like twice now I come out of these movies like, so who is this bitch?
Yeah. Well, they get her to like, they're like, she can't have anything, but they hand her like a Windows 97 PC keyboard.
Yes.
Attached to some wires. And they're like, you can't have the internet, but here's a keyboard. And they like somehow slide her a keyboard through this plexiglass box, and she hacks something. Okay, so the
piece.
This incredible weapon is got split into two halves, and so they have the other half. So they extracted the bad guys extracted one half from the wreckage of Mr. Nobody's plane.
Right.
So now they're tracking down the other half.
Right.
And they make Charlize do that for some reason because this Elon Musk type can't.
Yeah, I guess not.
I
guess he's like the benefactor. What? It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So they do that, and Charlize reveals. I mean, there's a couple different times it's revealed, but like mentions that she has a great line about, we know Jacob's Dom's brother, and she has a great line of like, she names like some one whose last name is Kong. And they're like, who is that? And they're like, yeah, no one remembered Genghis Khan's little brother either.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
I thought you were going to talk about the fact that she says like, so like Dom's brother, like, I guess your father had some Nordic in you. Like, as an explanation why John Cena and Vin Diesel don't look alike. Yeah. It's like, I don't need that.
Yeah, they're like...
it's okay. Yeah. Does Jordana Brewster and Vin Diesel look similar? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
No. She says, I think I know the Toretto's had the mixed bloodline, but I didn't detect the Nordic strain. And I was like... And this gets into one of the problems I have with this movie. They spend a little too much time trying to just like explain things that I didn't need explained.
I didn't mind it though.
It was silly. It was just like a quick moment, but I was like, we could have just not been.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. There. And then our
suspension of disbelief is so high at this point.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I don't
it's
really.
Fine.
I don't really care. Yeah. And she also has. She's like, great. So you found my record. She's like, no, I found your second grade report card. That's what I do.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, that's lame, Charlize, but fucking cool.
Come on.
But anyway, we get
she's giving it though, 100%. It's nothing against Charlize. It's just against like
the
fact that her character
doesn't
seemingly has appeared as like the fucking like
she's in a straitjacket and a mask.
She's like Emperor Palpatine. Like she just exists and like comes in and out of things.
Cypher.
Oh, that's right. Her name is Cypher.
So then we get back to the gang.
The gang. There's a very cute scene with Tej, Roman, and Ramsey, which honestly,
I didn't like this.
Okay, I liked it because basically the scene is just a cute scene where like Roman is talking about the fact that it's like, I'm glad that it's acknowledged that Roman says like, isn't it kind of weird?
No, see, okay, yeah, let's explain the scene where...
Well, Roman explains like, don't you think it's weird that literally in all of this time, there's not even a scratch on us. I have bullet holes through my jacket. Like I'm literally not even bruised. And it's kind of, the joke is that Tej is kind of like playing into this, like, thinking about it, like, it seems like we're invincible. And Ramsey's like, is this really like a hypothesis you want to keep testing over and over again? Yeah. And then at the end, Tej is like, I'm fucking with you, man. That's stupid. We're just alive because we're still alive. I appreciate the fact that somebody at least said, and I like the fact, I thought it was very tongue-in-cheek because
I didn't like that it was tongue-in-cheek. What I appreciated about these movies...
I like the tongue-in-cheek.
I don't like being winked at. I don't through a movie. I like...
But seriously, after how many fucking things we've seen...
It's gotten ridiculous and more ridiculous, but like I've accepted, I think we've all accepted it.
Yeah.
I didn't need the scene. Like Roman always is the character who does say anyway,
which is why I like Roman a lot.
Which is great and very funny. I didn't need a whole scene of it. I thought
it was cute. I thought it was cute because you know what? It gave us a little kind of cutesy dynamic break from the plot of the movie.
Sure.
And I love in franchises when it's like, thank you for showing me a scene where the characters are just being like friends with each other.
I really like those too. I didn't think it had to go this far. I think
I did think for a second they were setting us up to reveal that they are literally superhuman.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I don't like. Like, it's not a superhero movie, even though it is. But like, let us have it.
I don't know. It worked for me. I thought it was kind of fun.
I've always liked about these movies, and I'm on the record, I believe, saying it, is its earnestness. And
it is.
And Yeah, I think that takes away, like, I don't like movies being like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, yeah, I'm sitting here though. Don't tell me it's ridiculous. I like his, like, this is crazy, and like the fun that they have. And like,
I will say this movie could be my favorite Fast and Furious movie, except for the fact that I think Furious 7 actually has like a strong theme throughout the movie, which is like truly their mortality. And I feel like they treat their mortality so much more seriously in that movie than they do in this movie.
True. Yeah.
And I think part of that is because like Paul Walker literally died making that movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's like a real, there's like a seriousness.
Yeah, there's a gravity to it.
So they have that, and then there's like a little Dom and Letty scene that mirrors, like we were talking about earlier, the Dom and Brian scene. That's like, do you miss it every day?
Right.
You know, I can't remember if it was this point or another point. Oh, it's later, so I'll save it. But so they have this kind of little scene, whatever. They group up. It's like, you know, we're all in this together. And then that's when Letty's like, I've called in reinforcements. And then in comes.
And they're like, who's here? And it's Mia.
It's Mia Toretto.
It's Mia Toretto. And then if you're watching the same cut that Sarah and I watch, an alarm triggers.
Literally, I like all of that happened. We sat back down, whatever. And then you said, I can't believe that would happen right when Mia got on screen. It's like, fuck, seriously. Like it kind of like the applause that Mia should have gotten. It was kind of like damp because she appeared on screen for half a second and then.
And it was cut, and then also we had some reveals that were ruined for us when they
slightly.
Yeah, that were a little ruined for us. But yeah, then Mia's there. We all would have cheered.
That was great. And I didn't realize that, like, because I read some language that, like, they retired her character in Furious 7 alongside with Brian, I was like, no, you can't do that to Jordana Brewster, and you can't do that to Mia, the beating heart of the series, like I've always said.
No one puts baby in a corner.
No, I'm so glad Mia was there. Of course Mia had to be there.
Yeah, her brother.
Then this was the second time that I kind of got choked up.
Yeah.
Because, and people laughed in our theater, and I was like, I get it, but come on. Because she said, like, her kid and Brian Jr. were in the safest hands, and they were in Brian's hands, which I actually thought was really sweet. Which people laugh because I think they're like, oh, dead? It's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, but it's hard not to think that.
I think it's sweet because I think it's like a guardian angel.
Yeah.
It's like he's, you know, a part of this. He's still a family. I will say, out of character, no way would Brian sit out something like this.
No.
But I thought that was sweet. I think it's sweet. I actually do think I really admire their efforts and the way that they keep Brian alive in these movies, even though it is kind of at this point pushing it almost.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm not even joking. There was a part, which we'll get to in the movie, where I did kind of think like, you know, if a CGI Brian showed up, I wouldn't be mad about it. He's a living character. Like they have to keep him alive.
I was a little worried that we'd get like a back of his head or something. I know. I
would allow it though.
Let's keep going because we are almost an hour into this podcast, and we're not
just
even
so much. You know, because we're giving play by plays, and we just need to get broad strokes in.
Okay.
So
what?
I did get choked up at the mention of Brian. I think it's sweet how they're trying to keep his character alive, even though it is maybe it would be smarter to do something else. I mean, we talked about this actually. That like. There are some people who think The Rise of Skywalker would be better if Chewbacca had died when they faked him out. Right. But it's like, it's a matter of like, yeah, I guess dramatically and narratively that would have added some stakes to the film. But what kind of sick son of a bitch are you? That you want Chewbacca dead and you want Brian to be dead.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
But I do think it must be hard for those actors to do the lines like that where it's like,
their friend.
Man, yeah, seriously. You know? It gets me now that I actually have like a relationship with Paul Walker.
Yeah, it's
it does color this movie differently. So
so they split up. The team gets missions and they split up.
Because they learn that in less words, there's a possibility that Han is alive, or at the very least, they know Han was at some point involved in this mission.
Yes, with Mr.
He was
Nobody.
involved with the Mr. Nobody and the weapon and stuff. So the gang splits up. Dom goes to look for Jacob. The girls go to Japan to look for the Han missing link.
Yeah.
Roman and Tej, where the hell did they go again?
Roman and Tej Dom knows a guy in Germany who can help them for some reason. And and this is a reveal that got a little ruined for us when the IMAX movie skipped too far ahead.
Let's get into it.
And we go to, in Germany, there is
Tweedledee and Tweedle fucking Dum.
I loved it. Sarah's not a fan. I'm sad that this got spoiled because I would have stood up and cheered.
I would have groaned out loud.
We get what I'm calling redneck JPL.
Yeah.
We get Sean. We get the Tokyo Drift Boys.
Sean and Bow Wow after a few years. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Where this is timeline, those two guys should be like in college or in their early 20s right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were in high school in Tokyo Drift.
Right. Yeah, they were in high, and it's only like 3 years later.
I like these characters so much more now that they are not leading the movie. And I thought Sean was actually enjoyable in this film. Yeah. And the fact that they've given him a beard and have just allowed him to look old. Yeah. It's just such an easier pill to swallow.
Even though he was in high school like 3 days ago.
Yeah, even though technically I think he's like a junior in college.
Yeah.
Or like 22,
I don't even think he's an upperclassman.
Jesus fucking Christ. This timeline.
But so they're in Germany, they're government contractors trying to build car rockets.
Jesus Christ, Bridget, how do you remember so specifically?
I mean, I guess that's what they are. I mean, it's a guess. I don't know why
you said that like like literally what happened. I'm like, oh, they were just there building a rocket.
I don't know why they sent Tej and Roman there, other than it's funny.
Because I think they knew, because Ramsey kind of explains this is a satellite, and I think Dom was already like, we're going to have to go to space. Yeah. So we need to get a rocket that's strong enough to
we don't
get us into the atmosphere. I think that's the way they put it. It's in the atmosphere.
Gotcha.
Or into orbit, at least.
So, yeah, we see the Tokyo Drift Boys working on something, and it's revealed.
Rocket.
And then, I forget this character's name, their third buddy.
Oh, yeah, just some guy, basically.
Who's dressed like Marty McFly, exactly.
He is the first character in this movie that they introduced that, on hindsight, I'm like, well, why is he
back? Yeah.
Why is he there?
But, so they reveal this car, and it's a Pontiac Fiero.
The fucking rocket
with a rocket.
They give a little test. It blows up terribly. Of course, because it's a fucking rocket attack to a car.
But it's so, because they like are there's this car, they do a drive.
Are we going to really get into the details of
a quarter-mile drive
of this moment?
I loved it, so yes. And they like start, and it's racing a plane, and it's catching up with the plane, and everything seems to be going well. And then it ends, and the plane does beat the car, but they're cheering. And Roman and Tej are like, "Why are you cheering?" And they're like, "Because it didn't explode."
I
and
just
then
realized that most people who are listening to this have just seen the movie.
Yeah.
So they probably actually know this better than we do.
Okay, but don't poo-poo my favorite moment, okay?
That's your favorite moment of the whole movie.
Not my favorite moment of the whole movie, but I really enjoyed it, Sarah.
Okay.
I love these boys, and they're just like...
I thought it was glad that they're back. I just, that scene happened, and I was like, great, on to the next.
Okay, so we are on to the next.
So we're in Tokyo.
Yes.
Which I do, so they...
I do like the Letty Mia moment.
Letty and Mia, they have a little moment. Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster are giving some really terrible fake food acting.
Oh my God. No,
where they just sit down with like hot bowls.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is eating her food.
Jordana does have a piece or something, but if you...
She is just playing with her food.
Yeah, they're just using chopsticks to mix around the soup. As they're talking to each other.
Yeah, Mia's playing with her food.
Yeah, but they're having a moment where they're talking about
being mothers, and it's very distracting.
I do love seeing the girls together. I really do think we need more of the girls.
I do like that.
So they say that Han apparently used to always say that Tokyo was his Mexico. Yeah. Which to go back, one of the things that kind of puts him onto the idea that maybe Han is still alive is Dom received a postcard that was stamped in Tokyo, but the postcard is from Mexico, and it's this chapel that the Torettos recognize as being I guess where they went to church because they're Mexican.
They're not. Whatever.
I'm not sure. But so they have this postcard, and so they say that Han used to always say that Tokyo was his Mexico, which out of context, I do love to just say that.
Tokyo's your Mexico.
You know what I always say? Tokyo is my Mexico.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But
in Tokyo, they find a window that has a Mexican flag, which for some reason that's it must be Han.
It must be Han.
Because Tokyo is his Mexico.
Right, of course.
I guess.
Yeah.
They go into this apartment, they're looking around, they get busted up by bad guys.
Yeah, but there's this woman there who kicks ass.
Right. So they're busted up by bad guys. This Japanese woman shows up. She kicks ass.
Oh my God.
In a major way. This fight sequence is awesome.
Fight sequence is amazing. And I didn't know Mia kicks so much ass.
Of course Mia kicks ass. Of course Mia kicks ass.
I mean, she's a Toretto, I knew, but she is like...
Kicks ass.
Yeah.
And I like that they save kind of like the fist-to-fist fighting in these movies for the gals.
There is this one scene where Mia holds one of the henchmen, I don't know, and then Letty jumps off a couch and just like kangaroo kicks him in the face.
It's fucking brutal.
It's so good.
It's brutal.
This fight
It is
scene
so
is
gorgeous.
insane.
Mia hits somebody with a pan. I love it.
Yeah, Mia's just whacking people with pans left and
my
right.
God.
It's insane.
So the fight spills out onto the street. They're like seemingly overwhelmed. And all of a sudden, pew, 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 these fucking bad guys go down by a sniper. It's like, who the fuck is that?
Batman.
Han, bitch.
The second
It's Han.
It's Han.
And he does have a Batman reveal.
He has a Batman reveal and he looks sexy as hell.
I actually kind of didn't recognize him without the hair.
Without the hair, but without the hair, he's a little older. He's a little older.
He's always been hot.
The hair really tripped me up.
Here's the thing. The hair wasn't always sexy, but from the minute he flipped
had
his
a
car
swipe.
around
Yes.
and gave his number to this
You're right.
woman,
Yeah.
hot. This
Yes.
is a hot
He's
man.
smooth. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. But yeah, we found Han.
So we find Han. Meanwhile, Dom is in London, and I'm like,
Fancy.
oh, you already fucking know who's gonna show up now, baby. We're gonna see some of the Shaw family.
Oh my
and
God.
thankfully it's Helen
There's
Mirren.
just like hit after hit after hit in the scene.
Oh, it's a greatest hits.
It's he finds Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren mid jewel heist.
Yeah, there's
which is
like
so sexy. She looks hot.
she looks amazing.
So hot. I love the necklace she's wearing.
Yeah, that she just stole. So they're at some like
So
fancy
fierce.
jewelry auction. And
And of
like,
course it's like some distraction and
Right,
she's
you-
a jewel
yeah.
heist, whatever.
yeah, you scan like all the fancy necklaces
Yeah,
there, and then one
then-
is gone, and then it
Right.
cuts to Helen
so
Mirren
it's like
wearing
she's
it.
like casually walking out like nothing's happened. Dom shows up. She's like, "Are you gonna drive me, mate?" Because she has to match the Jason Statham.
yeah, she does the
Which
like
I do
Cockney,
notice that,
yeah.
and Helen Mirren can do all accents, of course, but
Yeah.
I do notice that she calls him Don Toretto.
Yeah, she does do the
You Toretto's always giving us a hard time. It's like,
Yeah, she does do a
Helen, you played the
Toretto.
queen.
and she's called Queenie in this movie.
She is called Queenie. So she's like, she has a cute moment like, "Are you gonna drive?" And it's like, "Nah, I think you can handle it." So Helen Mirren is casually having this scene with Dom where she is driving fast as a fuck through
Yeah.
London. At one point flips it in reverse and is racing the fucking lorry on reverse.
It's incredible.
They get the fuck out of London because she's like, "I can take you to your brother." Because I guess Jacob was working with the Shaws at some point too.
Yes, yeah, he has done
Of
some,
cour-
yeah,
which of course,
missions,
all
and
roads
she's-
lead back to the Shaws.
right. And she's like, I love you, Dom, and I'm like, didn't he kill one of
Or
your
try to kill one of your
He tried to
sons.
kill one of your sons, and Deckard is dead. Luke Evans.
Okay, but isn't Luke Evans alive though?
Oh, he is alive. You're right.
He should be dead, but he is alive.
He is alive.
Luke
yeah.
Evans is alive. Because
Luke-
I remember seeing him alive and thinking,
He's alive.
no fucking way.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
But I'm like, yeah, he
How are
tried.
you alive, but Giselle is dead?
Yeah.
Hashtag justice
Unfair.
for Giselle.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get out of London, they get into the countryside. Then the Fast and the Furious does its
What it does
infamous
best.
shot of ass, titties, and cars.
But it's classy this time because they're at a white party.
They do gussy
and
it
there's
up.
and there's no like, it's not just ass. Like it is ass in a dress at least.
Yes, it's classy broads, but you know what, Fast? Let me see the titties and ass. Come on now.
Yeah.
I appreciate this, and it definitely worked. It definitely played out, but like, come on. None of those women were wearing like a bikini top.
No, they're all dressed to the nines. But anyway, yeah. So
Pretty cool. Dom shows up. It's this fucking white party. He's greeted by Elon Musk under
Yeah.
the guise of like friendship or like,
Right.
we're good, right?
Yeah.
He goes inside. There's Jacob
Yeah.
with a K. And it's the first time these two brothers are
Face to face
face
talking.
to face. We go into another flashback sequence where we discover why they have beef.
Yeah.
And basically, to make a long motherfucking story short, Jacob went to confront the guy who tapped his father on the car. To be fair,
Right.
though, that guy was acting like a fucking
He
asshole.
was being an asshole.
And
he was trying to get someone killed. Like
yeah, he was literally trying to start a fight.
Yeah. He like pitted Dom. He pitted
Brother
Papa
against brother.
Well, he like pitted his father, Papa Toretto,
Yeah.
against the wall, and it seemed like that's
And
why.
so
his
then
car-
this bad guy, nameless, faceless bad guy, says like, here's the older brother. I was done dealing with the useless one here. So like the idea is that like Jacob has always been the little fry next to Big Dom. Dom takes matters into his own hands, absolutely and rightfully so, beats the shit out of this dude.
Also kills him with a wrench.
I don't think he kills him.
Well,
if he killed him, Dom would be in prison forever. There would be no way Dom would be let out for killing a man with a wrench. I think he just hit him and knocked him on the ground.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Bridgett, if he had killed that man...
Well, he does go to jail.
Okay, but if he was in jail for murder, he would not be out of jail in his youth.
I don't know.
He only got a few years because I think he just like beat the dude with the wrench.
Okay.
And left him alive.
Gotcha.
Which is worse, honestly.
Yeah.
So we see that Dom goes to jail for his brother while Dom is in jail. There's a sequence where he's working on cars because I guess that's a program in prisons where you can tune up vehicles.
Yeah.
For, I don't know,
and then
commissary.
And then we see the buddies from the first couple movies.
I do think it's funny that the henchmen are back.
Yeah,
I think, right? Is that what they were
I think those are the two dudes who I can never remember their names, but they used to be part of the family.
Yeah, they like show up when they need two guys to be covered in shit, which is what they did in Furious 7, for those who remember. So anyway, there's a conversation where it's like, hey, watch out under the hood, that tube, if it leaks, will blow your car up, whatever. And then Dom puts it together that earlier, that sequence of Jacob under the hood, he was sabotaging his own father's car. So Dom gets out of prison, convinced that Jacob killed their father.
Yeah. And
whether it was a mistake or not, it doesn't matter. A Toretto should have been better under the hood.
Yes. And then we get maybe my favorite scene in the movie,
this was fucking sick.
Where it's just like flat. It's an homage to The Fast and the Furious one, where we are back in LA.
I guess where the young Letty is.
This is where the fast babies are. We get the young, that like nerdy, the original tech dude.
The poor kid who died. Yeah.
The original tech dude.
Yeah.
We get baby Letty. We get baby Jordana Brewster. And we get fast babies.
We do. It really is fast babies.
And I love it. And we're back like
Jacob
downtown LA, empty streets.
It literally looks exactly like the first race between Brian
It is.
and Dom.
We get the proper tits and ass montage.
I guess that's where we also get it too. So Jacob is racing. He's like the big dog on campus, but surprise, Dom is there, fresh out of prison, ready to absolutely fuck some shit up. He goes up to his brother in a very Scar Mufasa way.
Yes.
And it's basically like, look, if you win, whoop-de-fucking-do for you. But if you lose, you drive and you never look back.
And it's very reminiscent.
Father killer.
It's very reminiscent of Brian's first race in Shakespeare and Hamlet.
I'm trying to think, where's because I kept thinking Shakespearean, but for the life of me, I'm like, brothers not getting along. What fucking Shakespearean play is that? It's actually closer to Les Mis, Javert and Valjean, except they're brothers.
Yeah.
So they race. Jacob blows his NOS load too early.
Yeah, he blows his load too early.
Which I think that's what Brian does too in the original race.
They both prematurely.
And Dom even says it like, too soon, motherfucker. And then he takes off, wins. Jacob races away. That's just the backstory of these brothers. Now we're back to John Cena, Vin Diesel. They're having this kind of conversation. What is it about Vin Diesel in these movies where every serious conversation with another man, he has to be like within 6 inches of their face?
Because it's giving you the little bit of homoeroticism that you want.
But they're brothers. I don't want to see that between brothers. I want to see that between Vin and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a little, they're both just like, I think it's because they speak so low.
Yeah, it's tough
that
guy
you
shit.
Have to,
it's
you have
intimidation
to be
too,
like in the ear.
I did like the sequence where Jacob pulls out a gun, Dom grabs the gun, disarms him, and then they're back, boom, gun to gun.
Yeah.
But then, surprise, Elon Musk shows up.
With an army, and then he's like, you threatened, I'm a dignitary.
This is actually, surprise, this is an embassy, and you just threatened.
Right, because he's like a foreign dignitary, so that makes wherever he is an embassy, and somehow Dom just like leaves.
Yeah, I can't remember how Dom... Oh, this is how he gets out of it. Interpol comes and arrests him.
Oh!
But surprise, it's not Interpol. It's Cardi motherfucking B.
Which is another spinoff I desperately want.
Need to see Cardi. Cardi B should have been in this movie more.
So like... Interpol comes, Which,
by the way, my early prediction about Eva Mendes, that is actually... I love Cardi B. That is where Eva Mendes being in the movie would have been like, Oh.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That
You're
would've
right.
really
You're
good.
right. That should have been Eva Mendes. But yeah.
But I am glad it is
he's
Cardi
in
B.
it. He's in this Interpol
Because
band.
the hot women from earlier were secretly on the Toretto Shaw end of the payroll.
Right. So everyone like takes off their like helmets and masks.
Switches into SWAT gear.
And they're all hot girls led by Cardi B, who's
That
like,
was fucking sick.
I'll do anything for you, Dom.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and she's like, I went from nothing to go. I've been to London. I've been to like all these places. And I was like, okay, I want to see Cardi B and the hot girls.
The Cardi B dialect, there were things she said that I fully didn't understand.
I fully didn't understand, but she was just like, I've been all over the world doing missions now. And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch Cardi B and the hot girls doing missions.
I genuinely feel like she must be a fan. And I feel like she petitioned herself to be in the movie.
Sure. I don't know.
She's not on the soundtrack, which I'm shocked.
Which is weird. Yeah, I think she's just
like what a waste. What a waste of Ludacris and Cardi B in the same movie.
I know. Can you imagine a Ludacris Cardi B song?
I was literally
hoping for it. I think,
maybe later. Maybe they'll like release a single later that's like the F9 Deluxe soundtrack.
I mean, what a great. Also, I was thinking about what a great career pivot for Ludacris, and like
seriously,
he must be. I think he's like he must be such a cool guy because I feel like rappers typically have like a bravado about them, and he plays like kind of the nerdy identity character, and it makes him so charming and cool that he does that.
Talk about that now. Is that a bit of a character development from the films? Because I don't remember Too Fast, Too Furious him being like.
Well, he's not in Too Fast, Too Furious, and Ja Rule was initially in the Fast and the Furious.
Wait, I thought Ludacris is in Too Fast, Too Furious because he
is he.
Yeah,
yes, he is because he does a soundtrack. You're right,
and he's also the main guy in that movie.
Yes, you're right. Yes. Because I think he took over essentially for Ja Rule from the Fast and the Furious.
One. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was supposed to be a tough guy character.
And what I understand about Ja Rule is that he sucks.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, lest we forget, he was like the co-conspirator on the Fyre Fest.
Of course, he was the co-conspirator. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's kind of a scammy dude, actually. Kind of a grifter, kind of a shitty guy. But anyway, so they all gather back at the Mr. Nobody secret lair. They're reunited. That's when Han enters the picture.
Right.
I thank you, Fast and Furious, for literally just saying, how the hell did you survive?
Right.
And Han comes back with the friend, which is the Asian girl whose name I never catch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they
I can look it up. But basically, it's like Mr. Nobody knew Shaw was going to kill. This is what I predicted. They knew in advance that was going to happen. So they swapped out the body. But then they also tell this backstory of this girl who I'm going to look because I'm not going to call her the Asian girl. Elle is the character's name.
Okay.
Elle, they also go to her with a tragic origin story that her parents were assassinated.
Because
they were the
scientists that built the weapon. And so the two halves of this weapon, we find out, need a key to connect.
Yes.
And turns out, Ramsey is talking about how biometrics is better than just like regular old hacking.
Right.
The whole time.
Like facial recognition.
And they were like, why are we tracking Mr. Nobody through biometrics instead of just like a tracker? And he's like, a tracker can go anywhere. If you're by biometrics, it's you.
Yeah.
And that holds true because the key to connect these two weapons turns out
Bridgett,
to be the daughter.
Did you read the script of this movie?
I wrote it in my head.
Because the details that you are recalling right now are
that
really
one's kind of important.
I know, but I was just thinking like in a general sense, whatever. It's her DNA because her parents made it. So it's a combination of her mom and her dad's DNA being the perfect center.
Right.
Is her. Han recognized. So when her parents are assassinated, bad guys come to find her. Han intervenes.
Right.
Because I guess Mr. Nobody is working with Han on this.
Yeah, and Han tried to steal the weapon.
Yes.
But other people got to it first, but he sees the daughter in hiding, much like little Brian Jr. was in the beginning, and takes her with him to save her because Han is the best.
And this was very beautiful, and I thought it was kind of cool that she's the key. But hindsight, what is her?
It's full sci-fi.
Why is she there? Like,
I mean, she kicks ass.
She does kick ass, but after she's kidnapped, she stops being a character in the movie. Really, I think a literal
she's a plot device
would have serviced this film better.
Other
than just bringing along
it's more
yet another woman who is just kind of
a symbolic,
there.
a symbolic. Yeah, she's a like Deus Ex Machina.
Because again, not to keep going on about this, literally every man who has ever died in these movies has come back alive and well.
Yeah.
But when the women die, they're gone.
Yes.
Because Elena is gone for sure. And Giselle is gone
for sure. Yeah.
And there is a nice flashback with Giselle, which I thought was very nice.
Yes.
Justice for Giselle. #
Justice
for Giselle. So they get everyone up to speed just in time for the bad guys to find them in their secret fucking lair.
Yes.
Just in time for the girl to be kidnapped anyway, which I always think it's funny when this happens in action movies where it's like, you know, it's like always like some build up like, yeah, for 20 years I've been living in complete anonymity. Never having
anonymity. Living in an anemone.
Whatever. Like, I've been on the lam. Like, I've stayed dead for so long. We've done this, that, and the other thing to ensure the safety. And it's like, boom, immediately, all of that is thrown out the window because immediately the girl is captured. Immediately, Han is rediscovered to be alive.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
literally,
Within seconds.
The two of them really have successfully been fine.
On the lam, yeah.
The entire time. And had they not been involved at all, literally, they just would have been continuously looking.
Yeah.
I guess eventually they would have found them because I guess Cypher is like a demigod of bad guy villainry and would have found them eventually. But
yeah,
I do think it's funny that like at the end of like this big like, you know, we've been running for our lives for, you know, 100,000 years. And then it's like, boom, immediately fucking kidnapped.
Yeah.
So they're kidnapped. They're on the run. Yeah, they're running away from these guys. It gets down to like, you know, of course, like the team, they're like just about to escape. And Dom is like, no, I'm going to stay behind and make sure that these bad guys don't track you down. And it's like this Letty and Dom, like, I'm not going to leave without you. But Dom is like, yes, you fucking are. Because remember, we do have a kid and somebody needs to raise that child.
Yeah, even though it's not your kid.
So go. Okay. Letty is that child's mom.
Yeah, she is the child's mother.
So anyway, but I'll get to that.
She's
in a second,
raising the child.
Then, so Dom very heroically stays behind. He becomes overwhelmed because he's just like one guy against like 20 fucking. Seemingly an endless number of bad guys are after them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was crazy. So, they have a full Star Wars scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and they're like fighting on this bridge trying to get out, and he's like, let it go.
Exactly.
And she like gets into this like bunker thing. I don't know.
It's basically just like a passageway that she can seal off.
Yeah, she has like an escape pod, but Dom is like, I'm gonna stay behind and fight this army.
Diesel.
Incredible scene.
These chains that are hanging from the concrete like ceiling.
Which I saw that when they walked into that lair, and I was like, I bet he's gonna swing through those chains at one point.
Well, this was a part of the movie where I was like, I literally don't know how they're gonna get out of this. He pulls down on the chains. Yeah. And the strength of him alone is enough.
Yes.
To compromise the structural integrity of this fucking thing.
And they said it's like millions of years old.
Yeah.
Wherever they're hiding. It's like this underground aqueduct.
Which is taken down so swiftly by Dom.
Yes.
The whole thing crashes down. He falls in the water, and then they get into a sequence that worked so well for me. It's genuinely one of my favorite scenes in all the Fast and Furious movies.
Amazing.
It is so good. Technically, I loved how they transitioned from Dom in the dark water to flashback and then back to him underwater. Like, it was a simple in-camera, just like lighting change that was so well done. It was so beautiful. So basically, in this flashback, he's reminiscing on better days with Jacob. Yeah. And then
not better days. He was reminiscing of, isn't that when he, nope, I'm lying. Continue.
Well, there's a little bit of a flashback, I think, of the two of them kind of bonding.
Yeah, when they're about to take Dom away. After Dom beats
when
the guy up.
Are coming and he's like, we're family, whatever. And then I think it's within this sequence that Dom, as his older self, is taking a look at that day on the track. Yeah. And he's able to recognize, this is what I got from this, is that like he recognized that like Jacob made a mistake. Yeah. And probably feels just as bad, if not worse. And so instead, like he's been too hard on his brother, basically. Right. And he's alienated a brother who is a victim of the same tragedy that he and Mia are. Right. So he comes to with the recognizing that like family's the most important thing. Yeah. He is like, I guess seconds away from dying. Letty jumps to the water, saves Dom. The two of them have a scene here, which I did kind of take a little bit of qualm with on two levels. One, because Letty says, Dom, without you, like there's nothing to live for. And I was like, your child. Yes. Your child. Yes. You have a child now. Yeah. You have a child.
Yeah.
There is that.
You were
to live
taking
for,
care of
for sure.
Brian
Probably
Jr.
that.
Yeah.
And then 2, where this is my second favorite Fast movie and not my first. I thought the theme of death in Furious 7 was like so much more stronger and compelling than just the general theme of family in this movie.
Yeah.
Because like all the movies are about family.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that this movie was like thematic, like, no, seriously, this is about family.
Right.
It just like, it still worked for me, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't as sophisticated as how I think Furious 7 was like, actually, this movie's about family and like morality.
Right. Yeah.
And just like, living.
Yeah. And
the reality
living
of,
on. Yeah. After
our hard
your.
life,
Yeah.
But that was a nice moment. Where the fuck do they go after this?
So this is where it gets fuzzy because this is when like everything kind of comes together.
Yeah.
There's a really cool, this is where we have the magnet car chase and the
magnets we know a little bit prior though, because the magnets kind of came up in the jungle race, and I think
the magnets came up in the jungle race, and then they came up again in London when we find out that Ramsey can't drive.
Oh my God, that entire sequence
that we skipped over, which is phenomenal.
Are we not getting to that though? Because I thought they started to do that when they kidnapped Elle. And Ramsey was tracking Elle. And like
Ramsey was tracking Elle, and then
I think that's where we go to next.
Yes.
It's a classic. There's a caravan of cars, and we know they're traveling, something that we need, classic Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So they've got people set up, this, that, and the other. Ramsey is like on a laptop, just being like, you know, the 20 for them, communicating that whole shindig.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, Dom is looking for Jacob, and Ramsey and everyone else is looking for Elle.
Yeah.
Because they recognize, like, okay, so the bad guys took the other half of the weapon. They have the full weapon.
And now they need
Elle.
Elle.
And the key. It's just a matter of they're going to launch it, and we have to stop it.
Right.
We also know that there's a satellite that is feeding this information to them.
Yes.
And they need to physically go to the satellite to shut it down.
Yes.
So before they get into that, they're tracking this caravan.
Yes.
Fuck though, but yeah, so
this is where it gets very confusing.
Here's the thing about this. They're constantly moving, which is what you want in Fast and Furious, but as such, it's hard to know like where they are or like
exactly. Well, they're definitely in London, and
they definitely, and I think at this point, Tej and Roman are attached to a plane that Sean and Bow Wow and the other guy are
driving. Yeah.
Yes. And they have a communication system that can travel so far, it can travel literally out of orbit.
No, I don't think they're connected to the team on the ground.
I'm pretty sure they're connected to the ground because Ramsey at the end is like, are you guys connecting? And they're communicating.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
No way they're up there alone. Let's talk about space now.
Let's talk about space. We go to space in this movie.
We go to space in this movie.
Sarah was right. I thought it was 10. It is 9.
No, it's this one. So
it's this one. And I think, here's the thing. I want to talk about space, like them going to space and how it's handled, because it is handled in like, for these movies, the most realistic way possible, which is like, there's a very like, I mean, it's still insane and crazy, but it's not like the big touchstone of this movie.
Yeah.
It's like a silly, it's a little silly. It's Roman and Tej strapped to a plane, and they're like, we're going to space, and they're
they basically
they're in like scuba suits.
Yeah, they have this makeshift car rocket attached to a plane. The plane gets up to like pre-orbit, basically 50,000 feet, and then the plane takes the car rocket takes off of the plane.
Yeah. They nos themselves into orbit.
They nos themselves in the orbit. I did like the transition on Roman's face where you can just see in his helmet how they enter the atmosphere. But I will say, unfortunately, this is the one part of the movie that just did not work for me.
Oh.
Because the initial them getting in space was fucking awesome. There was a big applause in the theater. That was cool. I was grinning ear to ear. It was so awesome. But the more they cut to that fucking car in space.
Yeah. It was silly.
This is a crazy thing to say, the less believable it became.
Yeah, I mean, because it was so like they were literally in
attached to like a Pinto.
Yeah, they were. A Pontiac Fiero, the same car. Yeah, and they're in like old school scuba suits.
It's and they like kind of get kind of cutesy with it.
I like that it was them in space. I like that it was our two like identity characters who were just like, and the whole time, Tej is like, yeah, no, it's fine. We're going into space. And Roman is like freaking out. He's like, we are going into space.
Yeah, Roman had the correct response.
Yeah, and Tej was like, it's fine. And then you see it kind of flip. And I do like that. It's unclear what their plan is once they get into space.
Well, they just need to get to the satellite to deactivate it.
Yeah, but how?
I know. And again, this is where it's like, when I pictured them going to space, I assumed it was going to be something like they are stowaways on the evil villain.
No, but I like that
spaceship.
it was unexpected. I like that they did it in kind of this fun way.
I liked it at first, but the longer we saw the car in space, the more it was
so
like
silly.
gremlins can't touch water, but they walk through the snow. It was like one of those like suspension of disbelief moments. It's like, for some reason, I can believe everything.
That car
else.
looked very silly in
and
space.
And also, they framed it in kind of a comedic way.
They did, which I like. I liked
which
that.
is the smart thing to do because you couldn't be serious about it.
No, I like that the whole time that Roman's like, we're invincible. We are invincible.
Yeah.
And then they do the silliest, the like craziest thing possible.
Yeah.
And that it is played for comedy.
And they also,
I think it brings it down.
You know, in the last minute, destroy the weapon by just like running through the satellite.
They do a full
and I did,
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and I did ask, like, how are they going to land? And their plan for landing was just link up with the International Space Station and hitch a ride.
Which I hope means in 10, we're going to be, I mean, they come back down to Earth.
Maybe they made friends at the ISS.
Yeah. I like that they played that for comedy because like
they definitely, it
was,
worked.
I think tonally it was the right call for them going to space.
Yes, and it's so earnestly Fast and Furious. I will allow it, don't get me wrong, but it was the only part of the movie that made me go like, oh God, seriously, are we?
Yeah, see, I had the opposite. I was like, no, this was the right way to do it, or introduce that we can go to space if they do it again.
Yeah.
Like this was a good intro to like.
It just, for me, compared to that versus the high energy, high stakes we're having on the ground, it just felt like we were cutting to like an MTV Movie Award bit.
Sure. Which I didn't like. I like that.
Again, it's not enough that I'm going to knock it like
we had
serious
opposite
points.
Reactions to Roman and Tej antic scenes.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, they're hard to do. I think you can really only have like two.
Yeah, they're
two per.
Yeah. But they're always fun.
They got a lot of screen time in this movie. And Ramsey as well, which I do appreciate. Because the three of them are great characters.
But yeah, on the ground, we're driving magnet trucks.
So confusing,
we have like the most powerful magnet in the world on a truck.
And this, I thought, is so...
I don't know why the magnets play, but it's clearly some technology that Elon Musk has.
But I think this is like, I don't know shit about science, but I thought it was so simple because it was like, yeah, magnets can attract and they can repel depending on how you charge them. I love the dialogue. It was so simple. Yeah, it was so almost obvious.
I don't know, because we're definitely skipping a part. There's definitely some stuff with the magnets.
They learn how the magnets work.
They learn how the magnets work. Everyone gets a magnet. And then there's also that scene where we go back to Elon Musk and Charlize Theron where she calls him Yoda.
Oh, this was also crazy. And they could have cut the scene entirely because I was like, first, I mean, don't get me wrong. I did love the extended Star Wars talk. But then it led to like, you're Yoda, like, oh yeah, wise, old, like, no, you're just a puppet with a hand in its ass. And then it's like, why did this scene? Other than for me.
Well, that's kind of the scene where we realize that Elon Musk has turned on John Cena.
Oh, well, when they end that conversation with Jacob earlier, Charlize and Elon Musk wink at each other.
Yeah, they wink at each other. Charlize is out of the box, like running ops for the bad guys now. And they're like turning on Jacob. So Jacob has to so Dom ends up saving Jacob.
Yes.
Like it gets a little muddy here, but
it doesn't get muddy when you're watching it, but trying to describe it is difficult because it is full adrenaline, fast and furious action. And hard action.
The scenes are
awesome.
The magnet scenes are incredible.
Let's not even try to get into the semantics of it. Just broad strokes.
It's
fucking
the truck
awesome.
Going up.
Oh my God, when they get the two cars next to each other to force it to flip over itself.
Yeah, which doesn't make it. I love it.
So they can jump on the underside of the car.
Yeah.
And they did this sequence with, I think it was like a Jacob VO or a Dom VO that was like, we've been through hell and back, this group, but one thing's for sure, when family's on the line, nothing can stop us. And it is so sick. It is so sick.
Somehow
slow motion, the silence of it, how everything is piecing together. Everyone is like literally like seconds
incredible.
away from death.
And they do my favorite Fast thing where two little cars are stronger than big car.
You're right. You do say that the little car always beats the big car.
And so they flip this truck with two.
And they're driving the truck. I mean, the truck just like the momentum is just basically driving itself flipped over.
Yeah.
They do a lot of good like car turning and people having to run inside the car shit, which I do love to see.
Fights inside a moving vehicle that is like.
Ramsey does this adorable scene where she doesn't know how to drive, but she's pretty fucking sick. She's the best one with the magnets. She used the magnets better than anybody else.
Yes. And I like that. Learn, when you are learning to drive and they're like, if you can drive like on a big car, if you can learn on a truck, then you can drive anything.
Yeah.
This is like, she is driving through the streets of Edinburgh, which are these tiny, narrow, winding streets.
And I do like to go to Edinburgh, of all places.
In the biggest car possible with magnets and like in a chase. And I'm like, in a stick shift truck.
And Tej and Roman, I guess. Yeah, this must be a different time because Tej and Roman is in the back of the car fighting those guys.
It's a different.
Look, you just saw the movie, so you know better than us.
Yeah, I mean it's a little wild, but I do like that Dom was like before he's like hyping Ramsey up to drive, and he's like, "You got to do it. You're the only one." And then at the end, like when they land, Dom's just like, "You're a natural."
Yeah.
It was I don't think those two characters have ever talked.
No,
but they had a really cute.
Ramsey has a really nice role in this film, which I really like a lot.
Yeah, but her and Dom have like a cute, like, you're a natural, like.
I also did appreciate the Mia and Jacob relationship. Earlier, Mia kind of confesses to Letty, like, I actually talked to Jacob for a while after he left and I lost contact. And then there was a kind of a fake out moment where it seems like Jacob, like Han Solo, he's just going to run away because he's out of this thing.
Yeah.
And Letty gives him like, go. You need to go. Because if Dom finds you, he'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. But yeah, somehow
again, Mia, love Mia. Always the heart.
Love Mia. But anyway, they somehow there's the sci-fi thing. The Last Jedi, Roman and Tej, the Last Jedi through the satellite.
That's fucking sick. I do love that.
I do. That has become one of my favorite movie stunts. Is someone just driving through something in space.
Exactly. I do like the finale of the sequence. Charlize gets involved. It's kind of a fake out. She's actually drawing a remote controlled drone, but you kind of think she's in the pilot seat.
Right. Another Batman kind of thing.
Exactly. Very Batman. But when they flip the tank off the cliff into the drone.
Yes.
That was fucking incredible.
That was really cool.
That was fucking incredible. I cheered. There were many action sequences in this movie.
That's
cheered.
Well, this is your first Fest in theaters, and there is a lot of cheering and hooting and hollering.
Oh, and oh God, how can you not hoot and holler watching this film?
It's so good.
So good. So many like micro moments we're not even talking about that like are so fucking sick. How they magnetically attached one car to a truck.
Yeah.
So they could jump onto the truck. Like, so fucking sick.
Insane. That whole ending sequence with the magnets in the car.
So cool. I love the magnets. I hope they're back.
Magnets are great. Magnets are cool. Magnets are dope.
So
magnets
cool.
are dope.
So smart.
And they save the day. And do they find Mr. Nobody?
No, actually they don't. Mr. Nobody doesn't appear physically in this movie outside of videos.
But
so I don't think they ever really find Mr. Nobody.
Yeah,
maybe they're just like, he's a goner.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember what happens with Mr. No, but he can't be a goner.
No, I don't know. I mean, again, Tej and Roman got back to Earth just by seemingly hitching a ride from the ISS. By the way, not for nothing, how much did that cost the Chinese government to send those two back down? Or did America send a rocket up there to pick them up and come back down? They might have,
because there are Americans. They probably like hitched a ride with people who trade out on the ISS.
But that would be months.
Yeah, they probably spent a couple of months in space. Because they
God.
They do.
That's right. They do. Yeah.
Because we get back and it looks like Dom and Letty no longer have to be on the land because they did work for the government.
All these movies end with the feds just being like, you know what? Let's call it even.
You guys are good. So they're so they're back at their old house. They seem to be building some sort of extension to it.
No, they're rebuilding because remember in Furious 7
it blew up. So yeah, we go back to the old place in LA and we're having a barbecue.
Yes.
Which we love to see. And we see Roman and Tej and they're back and Roman's talking about how he's been eating nothing but space food.
That's right. That's right. It did take them a few months. That's so crazy.
Yeah, they have a fun conversation about being in space.
They would be so sick. They would probably still be hospitalized.
Yeah, they also there was a fun when they are in space and like Roman looks at Tesh like no one's gonna believe us. And
Yes,
Tesh is like no. And I'm
seriously.
which is great. And
even though realistically that would make, I'm not even joking, international headlines. If
Yes.
two bozos just knocked on the ISS door.
Yeah, with a Pontiac Fiero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not even like an oxygen tank attached. I think they just had like,
They had those scuba suits and that was it.
Christ.
Yeah, so they're back
Scary to think it's the knuckleheads from Tokyo Drift that successfully did that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, redneck JPL. I love
Christ.
it. And that's great. And we get another very serious scene.
Yes.
Another serious talk with Lil Brian.
Yes. He's going to say grace.
He's going to say grace, which is a big deal.
They
and
all gather for the table at Passover and they save a seat for Elijah.
And they're like, well, where's Brian? And Mia's like, oh, he's on his way. And then sure enough, we see this blue.
Yeah, I really like this.
We see a blue import pull up. It lasted a little too long. Like I could have just saw the car drive and
they
then
did,
it cut.
yes, they did.
Like,
it was 2 seconds too long.
They had it like pull into the driveway and we're like, are we going to see him get out of this car? But we don't.
And that is where I kind of thought like, you know what? If a CGI Brian showed up, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, that very well could have happened. But I wish it was just we saw the blue import come down.
Yeah.
And Brian's coming to dinner. He's coming out of hiding to go to dinner.
I thought that's nice. I mean, I think like they accidentally maybe wrote themselves in a corner by keeping Brian alive.
Definitely.
But
almost certainly.
I am proud of them for sticking to it. And I bet that's nice for them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To
Yes.
like, so they're moving on, but it doesn't feel like they're forgetting.
Exactly.
That that like literally his memory is still alive in this movie. And
yeah, it is really sweet.
it is nice.
And they all like look over at him like
Thought it was
it
nice.
was very sweet.
Very nice.
That's where we get the movie end, and then
A mid-credit sequence, which I love. I love this movie anyway. And then they did something that I was like, this is literally Galaxy Brain thinking, thank you, Fast and Furious.
yeah. So this mid-credit scene, we see someone just like in a hood boxing, beating the shit out of a punching bag. And then the punching bag unzips and we see it's just some guy.
Some
and
poor
it's
son of a bitch.
And it's no one else.
Jason Statham Shaw.
Shaw. We get Shaw.
Jason Statham.
Jason
Which
Statham.
he's Deckard Shaw, right?
No, he's not Deckard. He's other Shaw. Big Shaw.
Fucking hell.
Deckard is Luke Evans.
Okay.
This guy is just
Is
Shaw.
other Shaw.
Is Big Shaw.
Anyway, there's a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Shaw opens it. Who's there? Surprise, motherfucker.
Han.
The man you thought you killed.
Han, Fast and Furious presents Han and Shaw.
I would watch.
No, they can't be friends.
And yet, and you know what? This is what I said though.
Han came to beat the shit out of him.
Shaw joined the family. Like the Shaw family simply joined the family, and it's like, so no reverence for the fact that one, this family almost tried to kill Mia.
Right.
And did kill Han, but not really.
Yeah. And
So I
then
guess no harm, no foul.
yeah, it's very weird. I don't know what
I hope Han is there to beat Shaw to fucking
that's what
death.
it seemed like. That's what I read it as.
But
It's like-
knowing this movie, like there's never any
But
enemies.
also-
There just are people who haven't become friends yet.
yeah. And also
the men at least. The women will be enemies.
and
to
also
the death.
I hate to say it, but I take Shaw in that fight. My money's on Shaw.
Shaw is a vicious, brutal killer.
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
Shaw in that fight.
Yeah. I mean, Han has had some kick-ass scenes, especially in 5,
yeah.
that tube fight.
Oh yeah, Han fucking rules. Don't get me wrong, but Shaw easily is
Yeah,
like
Shaw's
a
cold-blooded.
murderer.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, either way, delight to see. How many rooms?
Rooms. I think I would have to. I don't know because I'm tempted to say 4.5 rooms because Furious 7 is a 5-room movie for me.
Yeah, 4.5 seems right.
4.5 rooms. Yeah, I definitely do. I want to see it again. Not anytime soon because we did spend 3 hours sitting in the theater.
Yeah, but I do want to see it. I'm
in
going
a
back.
complete way.
I'm going back 100%.
Yeah.
I did really, really enjoy this movie. It is so
it's
much
literally
fun.
so good.
Some of the best fights and races we get in the
if I
franchise.
was ranking this movie amongst, like if I put all franchise movies in a
Ooh.
ranking, this is easily in the
It's a
top 25 percentile.
Yeah.
And I would say it's almost on par truly with like a really good Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's so much fun. It doesn't make like most, and maybe because there's a ton of plot in this, it makes maybe the least amount of sense.
Sure.
But I don't care because we have so many fun scenes and bits.
The action sequences
are incredible.
So unlike anything I've ever seen before.
It sets up a ton of stuff that I would like to see. Like, again, it sets up the option for a prequel.
We're setting up a finale.
And we're
10 and 11.
10 and 11.
Which I think, if I'm not, I mean, I heard someone say this and this sounds right. I like this speculation, I think, is that it's going to be like a part 1, part 2. 10 and 11 are together.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, I mean, Cypher does survive. Like, I think it's going to be.
Oh, Cypher's the big bad. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and now we're going to probably get more John Cena in these movies because he's joined the fam.
And can I say something maybe extreme? I thought John Cena gave, like, actually a really grounded, solid performance.
I like John Cena as an actor quite a bit.
I like him better than The Rock. If we're comparing wrestlers in the Fast and the Furious movie.
Wow.
And can I say, I read something about Dwayne Johnson. You know that Vin Diesel said
they
that
don't,
he was we had to work on his acting, which they did. Vin Diesel is genuinely a very good actor. So like, I would take that advice. But apparently part of the reason why Dwayne Johnson's not in this movie, which I'm glad, I've already said that like Hobbs
it's
really
a little
is
too much.
It's his own movie.
It's a little too much.
Dude, apparently Tyrese, our own Roman, is the one that's got the beef with Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, no, but it's Vin Diesel too.
Well, it's Vin Diesel as well. I mean, it seems like he didn't really make a great impression on the guys in the cast. But apparently what I read is that Tyrese was like, it's either him or me in this movie.
Well, I thought that was a Vin thing.
No, it was Tyrese. I mean, I think Vin... But Vin is the producer of these films.
Yeah.
So he initially was there when he cast Dwayne Johnson. Like, I think he has more... but
they did have
say in the matter in terms of like, well, he has to be a part of the universe because Luke Hobbs is part of the universe,
right?
But Tyrese is just an actor, you know what I mean? Like he's like
right. But there was like one of them didn't show up to set.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that tip is there, but apparently Tyrese in this one is the one that was like, it's either him or me. He just did not jive well with the cast.
Yeah,
which kind of makes sense because like I don't really think Hobbs jives well with the fam. Honestly,
he's a little too big. He's too big for his own good. He's too big of a personality for his own good, and it does kind of like when he's in the movie, it takes it.
And
over.
Dwayne Johnson himself is a brand.
Yeah,
where whenever he's on screen, it's never not like
that's the Rock. Yeah, John Cena fits into the universe well, and I do think he's a good actor. No, he genuinely every time I've seen him in a movie, I've enjoyed. He really is a good actor, and I think he brought actually great nuance to the role. He didn't say a lot, he didn't have a lot to say or to do. Yeah. But he really did bring the stakes of these two brothers who family is everything for the Shredders. So imagine blood brothers getting along. Yeah. To say the least. And that's weighed on our boy Dom for a long time.
Yeah.
And again, I really want fast babies.
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't setting up a prequel.
I mean, those actors that played young them were great.
They were fabulous.
I really all those scenes. I enjoyed so much.
And if we can get more like Dom street racing and that kind of scene,
back to the streets.
Exactly. That's what they should call it. Fast and the Furious.
Back to the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want more LA downtown racing.
Whew. So how long have we talked about this flick?
We've talked about this movie for pretty much like an hour and 40 minutes. So
that's not too bad given that the movie itself is 2.5 hours plus.
Yeah. But another one. Another one for the books.
I'm scrolling through my notes because I don't know if...
I mean, I think we've probably left stuff out, but...
No, all of my things I think I fucking said, all man. Right, this movie rules.
This movie rules. We're happy to be back in the Fast universe. We're happy to be back in the theater.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We're not going to do this again for another couple of years.
I know, but... look out for that. We have more stuff on the way for you guys. Yes. And it's oh God, it's great being back.
I've been on in the last year plus.
Yeah. Well, this has been the Cast and the Curious, you guys, and we'll
vroom vroom to you in 2022, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you.